It's time for the 6th event of QxQ, the Quadrilla Crash. Hello everyone, I am your host Quack, and you can't quite see it yet, but this is a brand new event here. It's sort of similar to Collision from Quack's Marble Clash, but you can see the standings right now. The Malware Monsters have a narrow lead over the Ferrofluids and Mach 5, but it's still very close. And here's the track here, Quadrilla Crash. It's very unique. The way it works is that one team will roll down that track, and they'll try to push through the other, who will be stationed on that board there. You can see it's a bracket event here, it's a team event, and we'll see how it works with the first matchup between the Malware Monsters and the Phantom Flames. You can see right there the Phantom Flames will be stationed at the bottom. Meanwhile, the Malware Monsters will be trying to charge through them, and they'll be getting points for everyone who gets past. You'll see how it works here as they descend down. They try to make it through. Ooh, they have two on the edge. They will get two there. And you can see how in that little catch basin, they got two marbles across all the way through all of the defenders for the Phantom Flames, and that means they will start with a score of 2. Now the Phantom Flames, they will reverse rolls, and the Phantom Flames will have the opportunity to try and get their own points. They're trying to push through here. They have 2 go through the middle of their third, not quite able to have enough momentum, and that means we're going to have a 2-2 draw. And in the case of a draw, we'll send the captains down, and it'll just be sudden death. Whoever gets past the other when the other does not. So it's sort of similar to basketball from Quack's Marble Clash, but you can see here the Malware Monsters perfectly navigating there, going right on by the captain of the Phantom Flames. But now the Phantom Flames are going to have to respond well here. If they don't make it past, they will be eliminated. And, ooh, a head-on collision there. Some good defense from the Malware Monsters' Captain Spyware, and that will be the end of it. But now we move on to match 2 between the Frostbites and the Blade Masters. I forgot to mention the Malware Monsters, currently the point leaders, going to like those extra points. And the Frostbites, look at them here, making all 5 of their marbles, getting through the Blade Masters' defense. That was pretty much perfect end-to-end. You can see perfectly navigating through the center and controlling the center. This event is a bit like chess in that you need to control the center, and the Blade Masters did not do it here. Now they have the chance. They need to be perfect here, and I believe they already lost one off the starting gate completely. I'm not sure what their strategy was there, but it is not going to work. The Frostbites will take an easy victory here, 5-2. The Blade Masters not looking good here. They're currently toward the middle of the standings, but they're only going to get lower with a result like that. But now we move on to the Luna Moths versus the Overdrives. The Luna Moths up first, currently higher up in the standings, and they get 3. Oh, they get 4 right there. Their last marble just making it over the edge. And the Overdrives not doing a great job with defense. Their captain getting completely knocked aside, and the rest of their marbles not doing much better. Only 2 of them managing to stay on the board at all. But maybe they'll be more attuned to offense. We shall see. And they're off. They're trying to plow through the middle. It's not really going to work. They'll get 2, but that's all they have to show for it. The Luna Moths will be moving on here, and that's another top half team. We've already seen quite a few of those move on, and the Luna Moths will be yet another one. The Overdrives would have liked a good performance here, but they're not going to get one. But now the Maze Runners, currently 4th in the standings, up against the Brainstorms, who are on the opposite end. And the Maze Runners are only going to get 2 here. That's not the greatest. The Brainstorms did a decent job with defense here. Their captain managing to stay toward the center and prevent the Maze Runners from just plowing through the middle. Meanwhile, the Maze Runners losing that one marble to the top side, not going to be optimal. But now we move on to the Brainstorms. Can they counterattack well here? And I don't think so. They're only going to get 2 of their own points. This will be another tiebreaker situation, similar to the first matchup. The Malware Monsters really liking those 2 lanes that are toward the center, but not able to defend very well. But now we move on to the round between the captains. First up, Starch for the Maze Runners. And they go through. They glance off the top side, but they will be making it through. Now Cortex for the Brainstorms. Will they be able to counter-attack and respond in the same way? And, oh yes they will. They will glide right on past. And that means we will have to go to another round of overtime. Now the Maze Runners, Starch. Can they do the same thing again? Let's see. And there's a bit of contact, but they will still go past. Now the Brainstorms, with the pressure really starting to mount, as they have to go once again. Their captain in the blocks, ready to go. Will they make contact? Yes, they will. It's a head-on collision, and that is not what you want in this event. The Brainstorms will be going no further, but with those 2 overtimes, at the very least, they'll probably get a good tiebreaker result. But now we move on to Mach 5 versus Team Toucan. Mach 5 currently top 3 in the standings, and they're very bad here. The Team Toucan doing an excellent job with defense here, keeping Mach 5 all in one big gaggle, not able to plow through the center here, and only getting 1 across the edge. It's going to be difficult for the Team Toucan to screw this up. They're looking poised to take a good result here and being one of the first upsets, and they will. They already immediately have 2 through. Oh, their third one not quite able to get there, but it is not going to matter. In a very low-scoring match, 2-1 will be enough for Team Toucan to move on to the next round. Mach 5 going to be very disappointed with that, with the Mauer Monsters and the Maze Runners moving on. They're going to need all the help they can get to try and win this championship. But now we move on to the Gold Doubloons versus the Order of Aura, and the Gold Doubloons plowing through the middle here. Ooh, there's some late bits of contact that will screw them up. They only get 2 across, and I don't know how great that's going to be for the Gold Doubloons. The Order of Aura, all those topside marbles going off, but of course it doesn't really matter how many of the defenders go off. It only matters how many of the offenders. Ooh, it looks like Order of Aura lost one immediately, but they plow through with 3 toward the middle. That was a very strange a match there. Their third marble on the entry ramp completely fell off the course, but it did not matter. They plowed 3 through the center, and that will be the score. Order of Aura move on. But now let's see what the Snow Skaters can do up against the Ash Flowers here. And they're rolling through. They have a bit of teamwork there. Just shove their second marble across, and that will be 3 points for the Snow Skaters. Pretty respectable. So far, we've only seen one match, I believe, go get higher than 3 in a single round. But the Ash Flowers not doing a great job with defense, as now they'll have to score as many points as they can on their own. And they're coming through here. The Snow Skaters doing a great job. They're setting up a great defensive wall. 4 marbles wide, and 4 of them will be knocked off, but that's not going to matter. The Ash Flowers only getting 1 across the edge, and a 3-1 victory will go to the Snow Skaters. Now we move on to the Ferrofluids, very high in the standings right now, up against the Lucky Clovers, who are at the very bottom and desperately need some points as we're getting later into the season. And it looks like they might be able to get some here, only letting 1 Ferrofluid marble get past. The Lucky Clovers not looking very strong here, actually, putting up a great defense up against the Ferrofluids, who are really not able to respond at all here. Now the Lucky Clovers have to go on the counterattack. Will they be able to capitalize here? And yes, they will. They plow 3 through the middle. One of them very fast, just completely avoiding all of the Ferrofluids' defenses, and that was great teamwork from the Lucky Clovers. They will be moving on to the next round. Quite an upset here against the second-place team in the standings. Oh, and what's this? The Ash Flowers and Ferrofluids, because they had the exact same score and they were pretty much tied, they will be doing a tiebreaker. I believe this is for 13th place, but it'll just be between the captains. Let's see what Wilt, the captain of the Ash Flowers, can do. They'll perfectly navigate around, and they will be winning this one. But first we have to see, will the Ferrofluids captain be able to respond? Magnetite, and they're off here. They make contact, they go off to the side, and that'll be the end of it. The Ash Flowers will score an extra point thanks to that. And they will be taking, actually it was 14th place, but the Brainstorms and Phantom Flames both having overtime matches will be getting better results, but still not great for the Phantom Flames, who are so low in the standings. Meanwhile, Mach 5 not getting what they would have wanted. But now we move on to round 2, where we start with the Mauer Monsters versus the Frostbites, who are both top half in the standings. The Mauer Monsters, especially, currently the point leaders, want to get every point they can. And they're off there trying to... Ooh, it looks like some great defense from the Frostbites will keep the Mauer Monsters at bay. That was not a great run from the Mauer Monsters. I believe only getting 1 or 2 marbles across. And actually, one of them went off to the side. They didn't even make it. And the Frostbites doing some great defense here. Will they be able to show some similar skill in their own run? And they're coming down here. They get 2-3 across the end. And that will be the end of it. The Frostbites will be moving on to the next round, taking out the Mauer Monsters. They will not be able to take their 4th medal of the season in this event. The Frostbites looking very solid now as they're heading into the semifinals. But first, we move on to the Lunamoths versus the Maze Runners. We'll see how these two teams compare. Both of these teams higher up in the standings at the moment. The Lunamoths lose it 1 to the top side. Ooh, and that 1 marble teetering on the edge, but they won't be able to get across. And that is not good for the Lunamoths, only scoring a single point here. The Maze Runners looking very solid in defense this time around. Last time only made it on a tiebreaker. Hopefully this time they're hoping to do better, but we shall see. As they're coming down now, they're going off. 1 went to the top side, but 2 of them make it across, and that'll be the end of it. The Maze Runners will be moving on, this time not in a tiebreaker. Of course, this event being the only one that the reserves compete in, a lot of these marbles perhaps wanting to show off a little bit. Maybe that's why they go off to the top side so many times to say hello to the fans. But either way, now we move on to Team Toucan versus Order of Aura. And they're off. Team Toucan get 3 to the end, and that will be a very solid performance from them. Neither of these teams have gotten a single medal yet this season, especially surprising for the Order of Aura, who've had a couple very solid top 5 finishes, but they still haven't got one yet. Maybe this is their chance. We'll have to see, though, as they're facing Team Toucan here. Will they be able to plow through the same way they did? Yes, they will, actually. They got 3 across. One of them getting blocked by that Team Toucan, actually getting shoved aside there by that Team Toucan marble, saying no to you. And the Order of Aura will be drawing this one 3-3, and now it's going to go to overtime. Team Toucan with their captain up first. Will they be able to make it through? And they're off. Ooh, it's perfect. They're gliding right to the near side. And Team Toucan will make it through. Now, the Order of Aura have to do the same, or it is over. And here they come. They completely miss. What was that? The Order of Aura, their captain not able to do anything there. I believe that was Flux, who completely missed the mark entirely. Didn't even make contact with the marble. perhaps just too intimidated. But now we move on to the final match of round 2, the Snow Skaters and the Lucky Clovers. I believe this was one of the matchups we saw in Quadrilla Descent, but the Snow Skaters are off to a great start, getting 3 across. The Snow Skaters looking pretty solid so far this season, trying to get another good result. Meanwhile, the Lucky Clovers are another one of those teams that doesn't have a single medal yet, trying to finally claim one. But they're up against a pretty formidable opponent so far. And, ooh, it looks like they lost it. Oh, no, they did not lose a marble. But they will only get 2 across the board here. And I think that is the end for the Lucky Clovers. They will not be able to take a medal this event. Unfortunate for them, they only have 2 more chances now to get a medal this season. But the Snow Skaters are moving on to the top 4. Very impressive by them. Here you can see 5th through 16th. The Order of Aura will get best of the rest thanks to that overtime. Lucky Clovers 6th, and then the Lunamoths and Mauer Monsters. The Mauer Monsters only getting 8th place, which is probably a sigh of relief for some of those teams higher up in the standings. But now we move on to the semifinals. The Frostbites, Maze Runners, Team Toucan, and Snow Skaters are the only teams left that can still win this gold. And we begin with the Frostbites and the Maze Runners. The Frostbites coming down now. They have 2. Ooh, they're 2. They're close to the edge, but they only get 1 across the board. So the Maze Runners pulling off some great defense here, and that means that it's going to be difficult for them to screw this up. They'll just have to get 2 across the board, and they will be moving on. The Maze Runners now poised to take this victory if they can just get a couple marbles through, and they lose 1 to the top side, but 3 of them in a big pack will get through, and that is the end of it. The Maze Runners will be moving on to the finals here. They already have a gold medal. They're trying to get another one. Meanwhile, the Frostbites, unfortunate for them, they do not. They just got a medal in the last event. They would like to get another one here, but they'll have to fight for it in the 3rd place match. But now we move on to the second semifinal between Team Toucan and the Snow Skaters. And they're off. It looks like they've got 3 across the board, just barely, with a bit of teamwork, but they will get it done. The Team Toucan off to a very solid start here. Meanwhile, the Snow Skaters are going to have to play catch-up. We haven't seen any matches in quite a while get more than 3 points, so the Snow Skaters are really going to have to try their give it their all in order to win this one. Let's see if they're able to do it. Ooh, that 1 marble ricocheting off the Team Toucan defenders, and if they had made it through, this could have gone to overtime, but it will not. The Team Toucan will be moving on to the finals here, a team that has not gotten a medal yet. They've already guaranteed they'll get at least a silver, but what color will their medal be? The Maze Runners and Team Toucan will be the finalists, but first we have a very wintry 3rd place match between the Frostbites and the Snow Skaters. The Frostbites will be up first, currently decently high in the standings, as are the Snow Skaters. Both of these teams are, ooh, that 1 Frostbites marble coming off to the near side. If they had made it through to the center, that could have been another point, but it's only going to be 2 for the Frostbites. That is not a great score, but we'll see if the Snow Skaters are able to counterattack. The Frostbites have shown very good defensive skills so far in this event, and they're going to need to replicate that up against the Snow Skaters, who've scored quite a few points. Oh, and that 1 marble teetering there, they just can't quite make it, and this will be a 2-2 draw. We'll have to go to overtime here. Which team will be able to take the bronze here? The Snow Skaters already have a couple, or I believe 1 bronze so far this season, but the Frostbites would like to get their 2nd medal. They just got 1. They'd like to go back-to-back. Ooh, but their captain makes perfect head-on contact, and that's just not going to happen. Their captain's teetering on the edge, so close, but it's not going to make it. Now the Snow Skaters, if they make it, they will guarantee the bronze. And they make contact, but they're going to make it. With their captain's slide, the Snow Skaters will take the bronze this event, as now we move on to the final. The Maze Runners versus Team Toucan. Who will be able to take the win here? The Maze Runners up first. They plow 2 through the middle, 1 of them going off to the top side, but that's still a decent score. It's hard to say, though, depending on how Team Toucan do. Team Toucan didn't look too great here defensively, but they did manage to ward a couple of those Maze Runners marbles off to the top side, but now they're going to have to show some more skill as they come through. They have 3 coming through the center. 1 of them gets blocked by the Maze Runner marble, and that means it's going to be another 2-2 draw, just like we saw in the 3rd place match. This will be going to overtime. The Maze Runners will be up first with their captain Starch, but Team Toucan with their captain Toko, will they be able to respond? We begin with the Maze Runners. So far, we haven't seen many matches go to multiple rounds of overtime, and the Maze Runners will be making it through just barely there, making contact. It looked like it might be over for them, but now we move on to Team Toucan's run. Will they be able to get through? They're very slow, but they will get through, and that means we're going to go to another round of overtime. The Maze Runners with their captain Starch have to do this once again. And they're off. They're going to be a lot faster than the Team Toucan marble was, and that's going to be another one for the Maze Runners. Now the Team Toucan have to respond here, and will they be able to? Down they come, and they're going to make head-on contact. They're so close to the edge, but it's not going to happen. Team Toucan with their captain, the Maze Runners marble, Starch sitting there in celebration, almost seemingly mocking them. But Team Toucan will not be able to take the gold medal, but the Maze Runners will take their 2nd gold of the season here. Team Toucan still get their 1st medal of the season in silver, and the Snow Skaters get the bronze. The Maze Runners now have a team event medal and an individual event medal. Very impressive by them. Meanwhile, Team Toucan, some desperately needed points for them as they'll jump up 5 spots into 9th place there. Meanwhile, you can see those 2 teams at the bottom, the Lucky Clovers and Phantom Flames, are already out of championship contention with 2 events to go. But meanwhile, the Maze Runners jump the Mauer Monsters into the point lead. The Snow Skaters take 3rd, but still 2 more events for things to change as we move on to the next event, which will be the Quadrilla Gauntlet. So stay tuned, and thank you for watching.